فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج وما تفعلوا من خير يعلمه الله وتزودوا فإن خير الزاد التقوى واتقون يا أولي الألباب. ليس عليكم جناح أن تبتغوا فضلا من ربكم فإذا أفضتم من عرفات فاذكروا الله عند المشعر الحرام واذكروه كما هداكم وإن كنتم من قبله لمن الضالين. ثم أفيضوا من حيث أفاض الناس واستغفروا الله إن الله غفور رحيم. فإذا قضيتم مناسككم فاذكروا الله كذكركم آباءكم أو أشد ذكرا فمن الناس من يقول ربنا آتنا في الدنيا وما له في الآخرة من خلاق ومنهم من يقول ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. أولئك لهم نصيب مما كسبوا والله سريع الحساب. واذكروا الله في أيام معدودات فمن تعجل في يومين فلا إثم عليه ومن تأخر فلا إثم عليه لمن اتقى واتقوا الله واعلموا أنكم إليه تحشرون. صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن لا جعلنا من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Allah says, Al-Hajj, the pilgrimage, Ashhurun are a few months. Means the period of Hajj is a few months. Ma'lumat, well known. The pilgrimage can be performed in well-known months. Faso. Man Farada here means undertakes. Farada undertakes. Inna them. In them. Al-Hajjah. This is object of Farada. Farada al-Hajjah. Whoever undertakes the performance of pilgrimage, فَلَا رَفَثَ, so he should not attempt Rafasa from sin. Rafasa means action concerning the conjugal activities, sexual performance. وَلَا فُسُوقَ, neither witness, وَلَا جِدَالَ, nor fight. In Al-Hajjah, the pilgrim. The pilgrim is of a few months which are well known. So whoever undertakes the pilgrim in them, so let there be no obscenity, no witness, no fight in the days of pilgrimage. Vow and ma, whatever, taf'alu, you do, min khairin, from goodness, from virtue, ya'lam, knows who is Allah, Allah goodness. And whatever goodness you do, Allah knows it. Vow and tazawwadu. Tazawwada yatazawwadu. Tazawwadan means to take provisions for journey. Tazawwadu, and provide provision in the expenditures, the things which are to be utilized during the journey. Provisions. Tazawwadu, and take the provision for, so inna, verily, khair, the best, azad, the provisions, best of the provisions is al-taqwa, the piety, the righteousness, piety, P-I-E-Y. Vow and ittaqu, fear me of me. Ya ulil albab. Ya means who. Uli is plural of zu, means the master of. Albab is plural of look. Look means wisdom. Oh, the masters of wisdom is oh wise people. Ya ulil albab, oh wise people. Means oh wise people. Oh intellectuals. And take provision. So the best provision is the piety, the righteousness, and the fear of me, oh, the intellectual. Laisa is not, Allah upon you. Deny any sin, and that tabtahu, you seek fadlan, bounty, grace, min, from, Rab, Lord, sustainer, you are. There is no sin upon you if you seek the bounties from your Lord. For so, is all when a father you feel the ifadatan. Sometimes it means to pour, just to pour the water in the vessel. But here it means to come back. فَإِذَا أَفَّدْتُمْ, so when you come back, when you return, min from Arafat. Arafat is a thief, just on the foot of a hill, and that hill is also called Arafat. Jabal Arafat, the mountain of Arafat. فإذا أفضت من عرفات, so when you come back, when you return from the field of Arafat, Uskuru Faso, Uskuru mention Allah, Allah, do zikrullah, or celebrate the praises of Allah. Uskurullah, mention Allah, do Allah, Allah, say Allah, Allah, or celebrate the praises of Allah. عند near Al-Mash'ar al-Haram. Al-Mash'ar al-Haram is a place situated in Muzdalifah on the foot of Quzah. There is a small mountain, a hill, which is called Jabal Quzah. On the foot of it, the Mash'ar al-Haram is situated. Mash'ar al-Haram. In the Mash'ar al-Haram, near the Mash'ar al-Haram, that is the Bab now. It's a to remain in the same position. In the Mash'ar al-Haram, near the Mash'ar al-Haram, you will have to remember the definition and the situation of this hill, but this is the problem for that foot of hill. Now, and Uskuru, do Allah. Uskuru, mention him, you mention Allah. This who is a person who not qualifies Allah. Uskuru, and mention him, and celebrate in praises. Kama, as Allah, he guided you. As he guided you. So when you come back from Arafat, celebrate the praise of Allah, and mention Allah, or do Allah, Allah, make zikrullah near the place of Mash'ar al-Haram, which is situated in Muzdalifah, nearby Jabal Quzah. وَاذْكُرُوهُ كَمَا هَدَاكُمْ, and remember it, and celebrate his praises as he has guided you. Wow. And in here, most of English translations are wrong here, because they treat it as inversely, which means agarche, even if, but this is not in such a position. It is not inversely. Inversely can be interpreted as agarche, even if, but this is not inversely. It was really وَإِنَّهُ, verily he. What is the proof of it? لَمِنَ الظَّالِمِ. لَمِنَ الظَّالِمِ is proof of it. Because before min الظَّالِمِ is always preceded by inna, not by inna. There is a grammatical rule which is very authenticated and authoritative that lam takibiya cannot be preceded by other than inna mushaddada. This is called mukhaffaf min al-musaqqal. This is quite common in Quranic language. As Quran says, لَقَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذْ بَعَثَ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِنْهُمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَآيَاتِهِ يُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُم الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَإِنْ كَانُوا مِن قَبْلُ لَفِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. لَفِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. That law is really a sign which shows that previous in is not in, but it was inna. وَإِنَّهُمْ لَفِي ضَلَالٍ وَإِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا لَفِي ضَلَالٍ. Just like Quran says, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. This in kunta was really innaka. This is permanent. Cannot go away. word. This doesn't mean even, but it means very. Most of these translations I checked, they write, even if. The translation usually also will be same mistake. That's written here, even if it is wrong. وَإِن كُنتُم مِّن قَبْلِهِ verily you were, really it was, وَإِنَّكُمْ verily you, كُنتُم were, مِّن قَبْلِهِ before it, la verily, of course, surely, min from الضالين, the astray people. Verily you are before that, before it, from the astray people, from the misled people, from the misguided people. Thumma, then, afidu, come back. Min, from, haysu, via, afada, come back. Anna to the people, vow and istaghfiru, and seek the forgiveness, and ask the forgiveness. Allah, from Allah, and ask the forgiveness from Allah. Inna verily Allah, Allah is Ghafur, of forgiving, Rahiman, most merciful. Then come back from where from the people come back and ask the forgiveness of Allah. Verily Allah is of forgiving and most merciful. So, when you complete. Qada means to complete, to pay. Qadaytum, you accomplish, you culminate. Manasikakum, manasik is plural of mansak. Mansak is mostly used for the activity concerning the pilgrimage. All the activities of pilgrimage are called manasik. The action of Hajj are called manasik. Manasika, the activities of pilgrimage. Your. The activities of your pilgrimage. Vaso, Uskuru, mention Allah, remember Allah, do Allah, or celebrate Allah's praises. Like zikr, you are remembering, you are enunciating. You are Aba'akum, your forefathers. Aba is plural of Ab means father. Aba'akum, your fathers. Aw are Ashadda, more stronger. Zikran, the mentioning, are more stronger mentioning. Faso, Minan Nase Man. There are some people. Minan Nase, from the people, Man are those. There are from the people those. Means there are certain persons. There are such a person. Yaqulu, who say, Rabbana, our sustainer, our Lord, Ati, give, grant, na us, fi in, ad-dunya, this world, wow and ma, there is no, lam fa, who them, fi in, al-akhirah, hereafter, min khalaqin, any share. So when you come back, when you complete your activities of your pilgrimage, so celebrate the praises of Allah as you were celebrating the praises of your forefathers, are more stronger mentioning. or more than that. So there are some persons who say, oh Allah, grant to us in this world, and there is no share for them in hereafter. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ Wow, and min from them, minhum from them, min means from, whom means them, from them, man who, yaqul, who say, Rabbana, O Lord, Atina, Ate means give, grant, bestow, na upon us, bestow upon us, or grant to us, or give us, in ad-dunya, this world, hasanatan, the goodness, the virtue, the righteousness, vow and see in al-akhirah, hereafter, hasanatan, the virtue, vow and say, rescue, na us, and rescue us, and save us, and protect us, azab al-nar, the punishment of fire. And some of them are there who say, oh Lord, grant to us in this world the virtue and virtue hereafter, and rescue us and protect us from the punishment of the fire. Ulaik, those people, na means fast, whom them, nasibun is share. Mimma, really it was, min-ma. According to a grammatical rule, min was changed into, nun was changed into mim, and mim was merged in al-mim, and became mimma. Min means from, ma, what. Mimma from what? Kasabu, the earth. Wow, and Allah is it. Sarihun is quick, al-ihsan in counting. Allah is quick in counting. Those people, there is a share from what they earn, and Allah is very quick in the counting, in the accounts. Wow, and uskuru, remember Allah, see in Ayyamin days. Ayyam is plural number of yom. Fi ayyamin, in the days, ma'adudat, counted, in a few days, in counted days. And remember Allah in the counted days. Also, man whoever ta'ajjala hastens, hurries, becomes quick. In yawmaini, 2 days. So, la is not. Isma, any sin, any blame. Allah, upon, he, him, wow, and man, whoever. Rakhara, delays. Becomes late. So, la is not. Isma, any sin. Alayhi, upon him. There is no sin upon him, and there is no blame upon him. Now, man whoever ittaqa, who fears Allah. Wow, and ittaqu, fear Allah of Allah. Wow, and i'lamu, believe, anna, that whom you, ilayhi, towards him, tuhsharun, will be gathered, will be collected. Be collected, will be congregated. And remember Allah in counted days, and whoever hastens, hurries, becomes quick. In 2 days there is no blame upon him, and whoever delays, becomes late. So there is no any blame upon him, and this situation is for a person who fears of Allah. And fear of Allah and know that, I believe that you will be gathered towards Him. You will be gathered towards Him. This is the the matters regarding the pilgrimage were mentioned in this passage. Now, it is a blessed idea that the issues of Hajj are being discussed here. And in the previous passage, certain issues and matters were discussed. But here, because of the time of Hajj and certain other actions which were not mentioned in the previous passage were mentioned here. Al-Hajj Ashhurum Ma'lumat means Hajj cannot be performed in whole of the year, but there are certain months, and they are Shawwal, Dhul-Qa'dah, Dhul-Hajj. Full month of Shawwal, full month of Dhul-Qa'dah, and 10 days, beginning days of Dhul-Hajj. These are 70 days for the performance of pilgrimage. But it does not mean that a complete pilgrimage can be offered in the whole of these days. But it means that if a person tries to start the pilgrimage, he can start from first of Shawwal up to the 7th day of Dhul-Qa'dah without any contemptibility, without any crying. If a person intends for the pilgrimage before the month of Hajj is right, but is contemptible, but without any contemptibility, one can intend for the pilgrimage from the beginning of Shawwal up to the 7th day of Dhul-Hajj. Thus it means that the pilgrimage God can be utilized, can be born in any day of the year. But before the starting of the month of pilgrimage, it is contemptible. But when a person intends for the pilgrimage after the starting of month of pilgrimage, it will exist without any contemptibility. فَمَنْ فَرَضَ فِيهِنَّ الْحَجَّ فَلَا رَفْثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. So, whoever undertakes the pilgrimage in those months, so there are certain restrictions which are to be observed during the ihram. What are those? The intention will exist when a person says, Allahumma labbaik, la sharika lak labbaik. Or he just wears the garb of pilgrim, ihram. Or he sends his sacrifice, his qurbani. These are three items when the intention of pilgrimage exists. But he does not become a Mohammed. To become Mohammed is separate, is another thing, separate. But the intention of pilgrimage is separate. Intention means a person cannot avoid the performance of pilgrimage in that year. He will have to do it. Otherwise, it was not compulsory for him. It was an option for him. He could do it in that year or in an other year. But when he intended, it became compulsory for him. He cannot neglect it. Understand? This is the meaning of intention. There are three things which necessitates intention. What are those? To wear the pilgrim garb, means ihram. To wear the ihram. If he wears, now the performance of pilgrimage becomes compulsory for him in this year, in this very year. He cannot postpone it up to the next year. Otherwise, he was able to postpone. It was not necessary. So it became necessary for him. The wearing of the pilgrim garb He saturated it. And the other thing, if he says, Allahumma labbaik, la sharika laka labbaik, inna alhamda laka, wa shukra lak, labbaik, labbaik, Allahumma labbaik, la sharika laka. He says the talbiyah. With the intention of remain, he becomes, his intention will exist. Or he sends an animal, for instance, cow, or goat, or sheep, or camel, or buffalo. He sends an animal for the sacrifice. So in these three cases, he would be considered to have intended for the event. No, he cannot abide, he cannot postpone. And one becomes muhrim when he wears the ihram and offers two genuflection, 2 rakat of nafil, and afterwards he says, Allahumma labbaik, la sharika laka labbaik. He becomes muhrim. Means after the restrictions regarding the pilgrimage will be applicable upon him, and he will have to observe it. This is the meaning of mooring. To become mooring is separate from that of intention. When a person says, Allahumma labbaik, la sharika labbaik, his intention will exist, but he would not be considered to have whole the pilgrim God. He would not be considered as a muhrim. Even if he sends a cow for the sacrifice, but he would not be considered to have worn the pilgrim form. He would not be considered to be muhrim. If he says, Allahumma labbaik, la sharika labbaik, without wearing ihram, his intention will exist, but he will not be considered to be a muhrim. When a person wears the ihram and offers to rakat of nafil with the intention of pilgrimage, and afterwards he says, Allahumma labbaik, la sharika laka labbaik, then he becomes muhrim. This is the difference between muhrim and between intention of pilgrimage. These are two separate things. And there are many books written on this particular topic. It's not an easy job to understand it in one instance. So, when one intends for pilgrimage, you will have to observe these restrictions. Quran says, وَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. So, he cannot attempt any kind of obscenity. Means, in normal cases, one can say certain things concerning with the sexual performance of his wife. Because she is his lawful spouse. He has the right to have such talking with his heart. But according to Surah, such things happen. Like the heart. Therefore, these things should be avoided. For instance, now one of the Shaykh says that many years as a husband with Sayyida Fatima, but he never saw her undressed, in nakedness, never. So such a thing should be avoided in all cases as well, but especially during the pilgrimage. If his wife is with him and he had got the right to talk obscene talks with her, although it was contemptible, but it was permissible at some extent. But no, it was forbidden for him. He cannot attempt any kind of obscenity with his wife as well. وَلَا فُسُوقًا, no witness, no sin. He cannot commit any kind of crime. Commission of crime was also prohibited for him. Commission of any sin, any legal sin, any moral sin, any religious sin were prohibited for him. But it was emphasized. It was especially prohibited during the forms of pilgrimage. Just like there are certain traditions who have said that a person should not tell a lie, a person should not commit a crime or sin during the observation of fast. It doesn't mean that it was permissible for him without the observation of fast. It means these things were really prohibited, forbidden for him, but especially they were emphasized during the observation of fast. It became more intensified. The prohibition was emphasized. ولا جدال في الحج, and no quarrel during the Hajj. Means one has got no right to quarrel with his enemy, with his friends, with his slaves even. During the journey for the pilgrimage, one has no right to quarrel with his servants, with his employees as well. This is really a cause. There is a definition cause. There is a training of the good moral, good behavior. وَمَا تَفْعَلُ مِنْ خَيْرٍ يَعْلَمُهُ اللَّهُ. So Allah says, whatever the goodness you do, Allah knows it. Means all of the virtues will be observed and you will be compensated. But all of the omissions, all of the sins will all be recorded. Nothing will be neglected. وَتَذَبُّدُوا فِي النَّخَارِ الزَّارِ التَّقْوَى, and take the provisions. This passage is revealed, especially in connection with the people of Yemen. There were certain persons who were defined as pious people in those days. They used to go to visit Kaaba Sharif, to perform the pilgrimage without any money, without any provisions on the journey. And they used to beg in Mecca. And at some time, they used to make certain crimes to facilitate the difficulties during the journey. So Allah says, وَتَذَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى. Then what is the benefit of the performance of the pilgrimage if you cannot avoid the sins? Really, it was a course to train you for the good behavior, good character, and to provide you good morals, and to supply you with good attitude. When you violate the fundamental law, then there is no benefit of performance of pilgrimage. This is one point of view about this fact. And there is another point of view by the Islamic commentators. They say, وَتَزَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى. Tazawwadu means take the provisions for the journey to the next world, for the journey towards hereafter. And there is no provision which can be utilized for the next journey except taqwa. Only righteousness, only piety is payable in that world. وَاتَّقُونَ يَا رَبِّ اللَّهِ. Just like a person goes somewhere, but their currency is not acceptable, which is provided to him. Just like a person goes to Pakistan, but there is no any arrangement for the exchange. And these notes would stand, just a paper, and would worth nothing. In the same way, all of the monies which are utilized in this world are not exchangeable in the hereafter. In the next world, there are all of the monies which are monies here, which are valuable in this market, would stand just a paper. Therefore, one should see for the currency which can be utilized in that market. And that market only the piety, only the righteousness, only the goodness can be utilized. So, best provision for the next word is piety, taqwa. وَاتَّقُوا يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. O intellectuals, fear of me, because only this very currency is enforceable in the next world. لَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ رَحْمَةٌ تَبْلُغُ بِرَبِّكُمْ. There is no blame upon you if you see the bounties of your Lord. This passage is revealed about certain persons who used to serve on the payment during the journey. And at some time they used to utilize their animals for goods forwarding. So some of the people began to blame them that they were not sincere in the performance of pilgrimage because they used to earn the money during the journey. So Allah says that anybody can earn anything which is lawful, and everything is permissible during the journey which is permissible in normal ways, except those actions or missions which are really debarring him, preventing him from the performance of pilgrimage. If a person does a thing which is not permissible in the performance of pilgrimage, that would stand void and invalid. All of the other things which are normally permissible would be permissible for him during the journey. He can earn the money and he can utilize his taxi, he can utilize his animals to earn the money, and he can serve during the journey on the payment. All of these things are permissible because they were also permissible in other than the field of the performance of the pilgrimage. Therefore, they are valid in law. Only those actions or omissions will be culpable actions and will be prohibited and will be invalid, which are preventing him from the performance of his pilgrimage. All of the actions will be utilized. فإذا أفضت من عرفات ذكر الله عند المسجد الحرام. So it was really a ritual custom which was neglected by secular society. Therefore it was emphasized. فإذا أفضت من عرفات ذكر الله عند المسجد الحرام. Arafat is a field on the foot of a mountain which is called Jabal Arafat. That's very wide. And to stay over there is obligatory one. That cannot be avoided. And there is no compensation for that one. If a person neglects anything else, can be repaired, can be revised, can be compensated, and expiation can be paid for that one. That negligence. But if one neglects to stay in the field of Arafat Sharif, it cannot be compensated. He will have to revise it in the next year. No remedy is available for it. So this is the last and final step while going from Mecca towards east. This is the last thing. Everybody is really going to stay here. And if there is a chief imam and his ideology and his doctrines are accurate, then all of the people are really going to follow him. And the two prayers will be offered with one adhan and two iqamah. Sur and Asr. These two will be offered together. One adhan will be promulgated, and one chief imam will lead the prayer, and just after the expiry of the sole prayer, without intervening of the nafil. Nobody is allowed to offer the nafil. Just afterwards, and other Ahmad will be promulgated, will be said.
Wow.
And the next prayer will be offered. But if chief imam is not available on account of a negligence of government, or there is a chief imam, but his ideology and his doctrines are not accurate, which are not acceptable by the orthodoxy of the Muslims, in such a case, all of the Muslims are duty bound to choose their imam who is with accurate ideology and whose doctrines and concepts are acceptable by the orthodoxy. Means the people with correct ideology are orthodox. So, in such a case, the Zohr and Asr would be offered in the normal rate as usual. Means they would not be congregated. So this is a proof that our Holy Prophet was taught the general of Allah. Taught the general of Allah. Because the congregation of two prayers, the collection of two prayers together was not allowed by the Quran. But it was done, it was experienced, and it was legalized. And it was approved by the continuity of the Ummah, by the consensus of all Muslims. Not only the majority of the Muslims, but total number of the Muslims are agreed that two prayers would be congregated and would be offered unitedly, together with each other. And this power cannot be denied from the Holy Quran. This action was legalized only by the Holy Prophet. This is a conclusive evidence that our Holy Prophet, according to Islamic law, is the Attorney General of Allah.
SubhanAllah.
Otherwise, the Quran said, in the Surah Al-Quran, in terms of Musa, all of the prayers were strictly abiding by the time. The time of every prayer was compulsory to be observed. But when the Holy Prophet wanted to violate it, there was no restriction on his right. He exercised his relatively power.
SubhanAllah.
So when you come back from Arafat, so everybody is going to wait up to the sunset. Nobody can depart. Nobody can depart from Arafat before the sunset. But after sunset, should everybody offer the prayer of Maghrib? No, nobody is allowed. Nobody can offer, even if the time is near. And Quran says, in the Surah Al-Quran, everybody is going to offer the prayer at that time. But now that law was violated. And this was not void, not invalid, but it was validated by the Holy Prophet. It means that our Holy Prophet has no right to violate any law. And there is no restriction on his life. So, such a person cannot be defined as a powerless person, whose supremacy of law, whose superiority of law cannot be challenged in any court. There is no education against the Holy Prophet. Siddiq Akbar, Kazim, Usman, all of the senior scholars of the Muslim were present here, but nobody was there to object to the action of the Holy Prophet.
SubhanAllah. SubhanAllah.
It means that the powerlessness of the Holy Prophet was propagated in these days. This was a new belief. It was not inherited from the forefathers, from the previous Muslims. It is not legacy of Islam, but it was imported from the foreign societies.
Subhanallah.
So when sun sets, everybody is going to come back from Arafat towards Muzdalifah. And while entering Muzdalifah, there is a small hill which is called Jabal Quzah. And on foot of it is Mashar al-Haram. Fazkurullah in the Mashar al-Haram. And the chief imam is going to stay on that hill. In the Mashar al-Haram, nearby Mashar al-Haram, that's the place. وَاذْكُرُوهُ كَمَا هَدَاكُمْ. Now, everybody of you is going to remember Allah as He Himself has guided you.
Subhanallah.
Means the remembrance of Allah is not an open thing. It is also prescribed and defined according to the definition made by Allah Himself, or is a person on behalf of Allah, is compulsory to be observed.
Subhanallah.
The way of mentioning of Allah is also compulsory to be observed. وَإِن كُنتُم مِّن قَبْلِهِ لَمِنَ الضَّالِّينَ. And verily you were astray people before that time. Means you were not upright. You were not accurate in your actions. Really, your actions and commissions and all of your activities were really of misled people. ثم أفيدوا من حيث أفاض الناس واستغفروا الله. This passage was revealed on account of its speciality of Quraysh tribe according to their own predispositions. They thought themselves to be more superior than the other society. Therefore, they believed it to be their disgrace to go along with the other people to uproot Maidan Arafat, or the field of Arafat. They thought that it was a disgrace for them. It was not up to their grade. It was degradation for them. Therefore, they used to stay in Muzdalifah, and the other people used to go to Maidan Arafat. So it was really an awkward thing. And it was really not suitable and appropriate for the Muslim society. As a society, they were instructed that ثُمَّ أَفِيدُوا مِنْ حَيْثُ أَفَاضَ النَّاسُ. How you are vanished. But all of the other humans are not mean persons. You will prefer it. You will respect it. Because you belong to the blood of the Holy Prophet. But you have got no right to disguise the others, to show the contempt, to show the hatred to the others. Everybody who is a reputable person is duty bound to love the others, to encourage the society. So, مَعْفِيدُ مَنْ حَسَوَ أَفَاضَ النَّاسِ. You will have to go towards Arafat Sharif, where the other people go. So, مَعْفِيدُ مَنْ حَسَوَ أَفَاضَ النَّاسِ, and then you come back. Where the people come back. وَاسْتَغْفِرُ اللَّهِ. And you should ask forgiveness of Allah for the previous action. Because that was the culpable action. See the form of Islam. Islam tries to harmonize all of the human society and tries to equalize in respect of liturgical activities. In worshipping, there are many other things. When a son is dutiful to pay respect to his father, to his forefather, to his father-in-law, to his mother-in-law, to his mother, stepmother, everybody is going to pay the respect to his stepmother as well. But there is a respect, but no respectable person has a right to contempt others. Respect is different from the hatred. If a person is needed, everybody should respect him. But he has got no right to show the contempt to the others. Just like the higher supreme person, the superlative figure in the society was and is our Holy Prophet Muhammad. But he never showed a contempt to the other units of human beings. He used to respect, he used to love. He had a regard for the non-Muslims as well. Non-Muslim scholars, Jew scholars, and Christian scholars came to see Muhammad. He suffered his sheet on the ground just to pay the respect. So respect and showing the contempt, these are two repugnant things. Astaghfirullah, and ask for forgiveness of Allah for the previous actions. In the law of Rahim, verily Allah is most forgiving, most merciful. He is expected to forgive. But before asking the forgiveness, your action was not part of it. You will be penalized that action. إِذَا قَضَيْتُمْ مَنَاسِكَكُمْ فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَذِكْرِكُمْ آبَاءَكُمْ أَوْ So then you complete the actions of the remains. So remember Allah as you remember your forefathers are more than that. Means then the people accomplish the culminating the activities of pilgrimage. They used to furnish their outfits against the walls of Kaaba Sharif, and they used to sing the eulogy of their forefathers. They used to say not of their forefathers. Our forefather was very bold, very wealthy, very supreme person, a great ruler. Such things they used to say. But Allah said, all of these things are not going to be mentioned here. They should not be mentioned here. But instead, the name of Allah should be mentioned here. That this place was specified for the remembrance of Allah. فَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَقُولُ رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا وَمَا لَهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنْ خَلَاقٍ. So there are some persons who say, "Oh our Lord, give us in this world, and there is no share for them in hereafter." Means when they don't believe in the resurrection, in the eschatology, means in resurrection and in the realization or compensation of this world. This ideology is called eschatology. Eschatology means collection of doctrines and creeds and concepts which concern with the resurrection and the finalization and compensation at the judgment day, on the judgment day. The collection of these rules or these doctrines are called eschatology. So they did not believe in the eschatology, therefore they did not ask anything from Allah concerning with that world. Therefore Allah says, when a person does not believe in the necessary doctrines, he would not be rewarded, he would not be compensated for any action. It is just like a person resides in this country, but they don't declare that he would be abiding by the rules and regulations prescribed by this government. He says, I partly believe in the legislative power of this government, and partly I don't believe. Then he would not be left here to stay. Even if he is a gentleman, he is a very nice person, he is a good scholar, with good morals, with good activity, with no crime. But even then, when he doesn't believe in their power, he would not be allowed to stay. In the same way, Allah says, when a person does not believe in my full powers, in the total doctrine, he would not be granted anything, because he is not believing in my power. In such cases, many persons are there who say that if an infidel, if a non-Muslim, pays charities to the poor, helps the handicapped, and gives the elves to the orphans, to the orphanage, and supports in good causes of the society, he should be rewarded by Allah, they say. But their discretion cannot differentiate that a person not believing in the full power of British government cannot be allowed to stay in this country. How can a person can be allowed to be compensated on the judgment day without believing in full power of Allah?
Subhanallah.
When an infidel does not believe in full power of Allah, in full power of His legislation, he does not believe in total number of doctrines, he cannot be rewarded, he cannot be compensated. This is a common question of the day. Most of the people are of the opinion that a non-Muslim should be compensated, should be rewarded for his good actions. Although he should be rewarded for his infidelity or paganism or polytheism, but he should be rewarded for the good actions because it is against the justice of Allah and equity of law. But they cannot appreciate the equity of law. If a person does not believe in the sole authority of the government, he cannot be allowed to stay over here, even if he is a good man. But it is not a difference of his action, it is a difference of his ideology. His ideology is not right, he cannot be allowed. For instance, a person goes for the naturalization in the court. He goes to the immigration office. They give him a form to fill up. And there is a column. I shall be abiding by the rules and regulations prescribed by the legislative council of this country under the crown of kings. And that is called oath of allegiance. He has to take the oath of allegiance to the queen. If he does not take the oath of allegiance to the queen, he cannot be naturalized. He cannot give the nationality. So this is not a difference of action, it is a difference of ideology. It is a difference of doctrine. So this is why we say that if a person with the wrong aqaid, with the wrong ideology, he would not be compensated, he would not be rewarded by Allah on the day of judgment. This is our claim. And this can be proved by the daily exercise of this law. Allah says that there is no share for him on the judgment day because his ideology is not right. He did not commit any kind of crime in this statement. He believes in God because he says, "O Rabbana, O my Lord." He believes in the Lordness of Allah. He believes in as a sustainer. He believes in his mastership and asks him. He does not ask from anything else, from anyone else. He is asking from Allah. But yet he would not be compensated. There is no share for him on the judgment day. Why? When he believes in Allah, in the existence of Allah, in power of Allah, why he is being deprived? Because he is not believing in full power of Allah. He should have believed that Allah was able to give him in the next world as well. But he does not believe in the next world, therefore he would be deprived. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَقُولُ رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً. And some of them are there who say, "Oh Lord, give us virtue in this world and virtue in the next world. Goodness in this world and goodness in the next world." The statement is same, but there is a an extension in this one. That was asking for the next one as well. So it was a culmination of doctrines. So completion of doctrines is a reason for the compensation. You will be much more than the previous one, but you will be restored. You will be drunk. And the skill is on the punishment of fire. And there will be a share for them from the earth. Means asking the prayer, asking the favor is also earning. If the person asks from Allah, he is also wants earning. He is earning. He is saving something. Allah will account and Allah is very quick in accounting. And remember Allah in a few days. Means when a person comes back on the 10th day of the Hajjah from Muzdalifah in the darkness, he will have to come back from Muzdalifah towards Mina in the darkness of the morning, early in the morning. Otherwise, according to Hanfiyite school of law, this would not be called school of thought, because it is not school of thought, it is school of law. According to Hanfiyite school of law, everybody would have to come back, would have to offer the prayer early in the morning. Otherwise, according to Hanfiyite school of law, nobody is allowed to offer the prayer in the darkness of the morning. The darkness should be cleared. Afterwards, one has a double right of the prayer. But in a special case, everybody is duty bound to offer the prayer early in the morning in the darkness, and then you come back to Mina. And then one has to throw the pebbles on the last hole of pebbling. That's called Jumra Uqba. And afterwards, he would be allowed to offer, to sacrifice his animal. But for a person performing the pilgrimage, it is sunnah, it is not compulsory. If a person has enough money, can offer the sacrifice, can sacrifice an animal. Otherwise, it is not necessary by him. It is sunnah. Although, in fact, it's sunnah, but it's sunnah. Not obligatory or secular or obligatory wajib. It's not wajib. Neither wajib nor farz. It is only sunnah for a person who performs the pilgrimage. So, after the ayyam ma'luda, here the days of Tashriq are meant here. They are 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13 of Zilhajjah. These 5 days are called Ayyam Tashriq. With the breaking of dawn, after the prayer of morning, everybody would have to remember Allah with loud voice. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Wallahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Walillahil hamd. Wallahu Akbar, Walillahil hamd. This takbir would be compulsory for everyone after the obligatory prayer. Imam, along with the followers, all of them are duty bound to make zikrullah with loud voice. And at that time, no attention will be paid to a person who is not completing the prayer. He is in the middle of the prayer. The question, the objection which is raised nowadays, that the prayer should not say zikrullah with loud voice, because the prayer of other is violated, is disturbed, and they not properly observe their prayer. But this is a lame excuse, because in those days, from morning of 9th of Zil-Hajjah up to the Asr of 13th of Zil-Hajjah. There is no any arrangement for the observation of that person. Understand? Means no regard is paid to a person who is in the prayer. So when it is not objection in those days, even if the circumstances are the same, which are found in this life, but even then, the mentioning of Allah with loud voice means zikr jar is Allah. When in those days, when the people are in large number and in huge congregations, when the zikrullah with loud voice, zikr jar is allowed in those days, there is no reason to believe that a person's prayer is broken, is disturbed, is troubled. It is a very excuse just to avoid the zikr jar. So here, waskurullah fi ayyam ma'dudat. No, wherever they may be, in the performance of pilgrimage or in normal cases, in all of the cases, everybody is going to say zikrullah in those days. And when Allah said in the previous verses, فَاسْكُرُوا بِذِكْرِكُمْ آبَاءَكُمْ أَوْ أَشَدَّ ذِكْرًا, the zikr jar was proved here also. Means, remember Allah as you were remembering your forefathers. They were not remembering it in their hearts. أَوْ أَشَدَّ ذِكْرًا, or more than that, or with a louder voice than the previous one. وَاسْكُرُوا اللَّهَ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْدُودَاتٍ, and do zikrullah in the counting days. فَمَنْ تَعَجَّلَ فِي يَوْمٍ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. There was custom. If a person, after the sacrification of animal, he used to go within 2 days, the people present over here used to blame him that he was very quick and he was very greedy to save the time. But Allah says there are certain permissible things, and permissibility can be utilized by anyone who likes. Anyone who hastens, who hurries, in 2 days can do it. There is no blame on him. He can do it. In 11 and 12. 11 and 12. These 2 days, he can offer the sacrifice. He will have to sacrifice in 10 or 11 or 12, but all of the other actions, just to throw the pebbles on the first throwing point, second throwing point, means Jumrah Ula, Jumrah Musta, Jumrah Uqba. These were also included in the activities of pilgrimage. If he wants to complete in 2 days, can do it. If he wants to complete them in 3 days, he will. And whoever delays, means he stays only for 3 days, he can do it. But the second one is preferable according to RTI School of Law. Means if he stays there for 3 days, is more preferable. This is the end of these issues. When Allah says, وَاتَّقُوا and fear of Allah, وَعَلَمُوا أَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْهِ تُحْشَرُونَ, and believe that you will have to be collected, you will have to be gathered, you will have to be congregated towards Him. Means the time will come when the accountability will be held, and nobody will be able to avoid my accountability, and you will be scrutinized, and everything will be put in my presence, and all of the documents and documentary proofs will be adduced in my book, and I will be able to be live or this is the commentary of this study. Because this was very long, this I cut it into pieces so that it may easily study. Is there any question related to my speech? No? No question. If you have time. or nothing.